welcome back to my channel in Tina's Kitchen, where today I wanted to make something very special in the sense where it's so Armenian and so traditional and everybody loves it. You can find it in everyone's homes, but not often is it that people make it. I have never made this before. I'm gonna be fully honest with you. This is gonna be my very first time attempting this cookie, which is called a gata. Some people also know it as Nazook. It is a traditional, authentic Armenian cookie made out of pastry dough, and it has a really crumbly, buttery filling. That filling is gonna be made with flour, sugar, butter. We're gonna throw in a secret ingredient. Now, I watched a tutorial and the person who made it used Armenian Cognac, and I thought, okay, that's going to be really interesting. I really want to attempt it, and we had some at home, so why not, right? And then there's also some vanilla extract, and this is not in the recipe. However, I'm just going to use it just because we all love this almond extract so much. It just enhances the flavor of everything, so I'm going to throw it in there. Let's see how it works, but the recipe doesn't call for it. And then of course we need some baking soda. And then we will separate the egg. We need the yolk separately and the whites separately. So stay tuned, join me as I attempt this dish for the first time in making Armenian traditional gata. Okay, so let's just get started. I am going to begin with cutting my butter into quarts and having it sit in a little dish just to get a little bit softer. We don't want to melt the butter, we just want it soft enough that we can go in with our fingers and mush it and combine it with our flour and our sugar base for our filling. So let's just get started and dice this butter. I've left it out for a little bit so it's easier to manage, but we'll see. Let's just cut it into little squares. Okay, I just want to set these in here and have them ready. Maybe we can even cut them a little more for easier mashing. Okay. The type of butter you use, I don't know if it matters, but I just used what we had at home. I'm just using the Kerrygold, but if you have challenge butter, if you have, I think even clarified butter would work, you know, in its solid state. Let's see. Butter, we'll set it aside. The next order of business is separating our egg. Recipe called for 1 egg separated. However, I feel like these are so tiny, maybe I'm gonna do 2. This is gonna be used to brush on to your gata. There's gonna be 2 steps in brushing it in. The first step is right before we put our filling onto the pastry dough. We're gonna brush it on with egg white, and then once we folded it and ready for the oven, we're gonna brush it on with the egg yolk. So in order for me to have enough, I might use 2, but we'll see. So first we'll get that egg white. Well, we might have enough. And then our egg yolk. We'll start with 1. We'll see where that takes us. Okay, so now we're gonna dive right into making our filling. Recipe calls for a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning 1 cup of flour to 1 cup of sugar. So what I'll go ahead and do is 2 cups of each, because I just want to make a larger batch in case I ruin my first one, since it's my first time. So let's just get started with our 1 cup of flour. And then our 2nd cup of flour. using baker's sugar, and the difference that I find with baker's sugar, it's a little bit finer. I use this in all of my cookies and cakes. It just, I don't know if it makes a difference, but it's a little bit finer. And it's not quite a cup, so I believe I already had 2 cups ready there. Okay. All right, next thing we're gonna do is put in our butter. I used an entire stick. I don't think you're supposed to use that much, so let's just, I'm gonna wing it. I forgot the recipe, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's just wing it. I will post the actual recipe in my link, and I will link the original tutorial as well, in case I butcher this, but I think we're okay. It's butter, how can you go wrong, right? Okay, so I'll leave out 3 pieces, just, we'll take it, we'll play it by ear. And then we need a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, perfect. And then we need about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. For some flavor. Okay, I did 2 teaspoons. Okay. And I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of the almond extract. Again, optional. I'm testing it out just to see if the flavors work, but I mean, how can you go wrong? Okay. And now for that exciting cognac. Okay. I believe 1.5 tablespoons is what the recipe called for. So just 1.5 tablespoons. Ooh, that's strong. I could see why she used it. It does have a little bit of that almondy essence to it. So we've just doubled up on our almond flavor. Okay. Now what we need to do is really get in there and smush this up with our fingers. You want a crumbly consistency. So let's just get in there and get started. Have a great class. Okay, so what I'm going to do, sorry, my kiddos have Zoom. This is our new normal, so if I get interrupted, I apologize. So what we're gonna do now is split the dough down the middle, because I do want to fill it and then roll it and then cut them up and give it a little bit of a decoration. So again, I've never done this before, so let's just see how it turns out. have assembled our puff pastry and included the filling. We're ready to cut this. Now I'm going to be using a pizza cutter and then maybe a fork to give it some type of decoration, or just, you know, just something to the edges to give it some type of cuteness. So let's start cutting it, and I'm going to cut it into diamond shapes, like sideways. Alright, let's hope this works. There we go. Okay, not bad, just like that. Diamond-shaped gata, we're ready to transfer them over to a baking sheet. I've aligned it with parchment paper so the bottoms don't stick. And then I'm just going to be transferring it over, slapping on the egg yolk to get that pretty golden color. And I think it adds a little bit of a flakier texture. And put them in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Make my coffee and meet you right back. Put the egg yolk all over the gata. We are ready to give it a little bit of life, make it a little bit cuter, add some decoration to it. I'm not going, you know, all out. I'm just drawing a little swirl on each one with my fork. All right. You can even just draw a straight line. It gives the same effect. Pop this into the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it. If it needs to come out sooner, I'll take it out, but for the most part, 30 minutes should be fine. I'll see you soon. All right, I can smell that gata. I'm pretty sure it is ready. It's been in the oven for about 30 minutes. I'm going to shut it off. Let's take it out of the oven and assemble it in a pretty little dish. Oh yeah, it smells great. All right, I am so proud of myself, and you will be too when you try out this recipe. They're not perfect, but they were my first time, and I documented it, and I'm gonna look back and perfect this definitely, but for the most part they were really amazing. My kiddos already gave me a stamp of approval. They have a nice homemade snack for after their Zoom meeting today. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you like this recipe or my version of it, and I hope you like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you, bye.